The Liberty Quarter, $2001. North Carolina. Coin tells a story far deeper than its small silver-colored surface suggests. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a miniature monument to American history, artistry, and symbolism. This coin, officially part of the United States 50-state quarters program, celebrates North Carolina's rich heritage, paying tribute to the Wright Brothers. First flight in 1903. But, beyond the famous design, there are layers of myth, mystery, and numismatic intrigue that have fascinated collectors for over 2 decades. In this documentary, we'll explore the historical inspiration behind the coin, decode the meaning of its imagery, uncover the myths that surround it, and reveal how much it's truly worth in auctions and collector markets today. Let's begin with the broader context. The 50-state quarters program was launched in 1999 by the United States, meant to commemorate each of the 50 states with unique quarter designs issued over 10 years. It became one of the most popular coin programs in U.S. history, igniting public interest in coin collecting like never before. Each quarter's reverse design showcased a moment, symbol, or figure that represented the respective state's identity and history. North Carolina's quarter, released in 2001, stood out for its depiction of humanity's first powered flight, a historic event that took place in the dunes of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, on December 17, 1903. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which has graced the quarter since 1932. Above his head reads, United States of America, and below, the words $quarter dollar. The inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust flank Washington's profile, reflecting the enduring American ideals of freedom and faith. But it's the reverse that captivates collectors and historians alike. The design chosen for North Carolina State Quarter was created by John McCanty, one of the most accomplished sculptor engravers in U.S. mint history. It beautifully captures the Wright brothers, flyer soaring above the sandy landscape with the inscription First Flight. This design immortalizes the moment Orville and Wilbur Wright changed the world forever. The Wright brothers. Flight lasted only 12 seconds and covered a distance of 120 feet, but it ushered in the age of aviation, making North Carolina the first in flight. The phrase itself is proudly inscribed at the top of the coin, alongside 1789, the year North Carolina ratified the U.S. Constitution and became the 12th state to join the Union. This small coin thus intertwines 2 monumental moments: the state's foundational role in America's birth and its place in the dawn of modern transportation. The minting of the 2001 North Carolina quarter took place at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, marked with a P, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. Circulation strikes came from Philadelphia and Denver, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors. The total mintage exceeded 1 billion pieces, specifically, over 627 million from Philadelphia and 427 million from Denver, making it one of the higher mintage coins in the series. Yet, despite such large numbers, not all North Carolina quarters are created equal. Condition, mint errors, and die varieties have given some pieces exceptional value in auctions and private sales. Before diving into the coin's value today, let's look at the myths and mysteries surrounding it. One of the most widespread myths is that all North Carolina state quarters with first flight are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This misconception spread through online forums and social media, often fueled by clickbait headlines or sensational videos. In truth, most circulated examples are worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, certain rare variations do exist. Collectors have documented a few notable minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, and die cracks, that can significantly boost a coin's worth. One of the most famous of these is the double die reverse error, where the lettering or elements of the right flyer appear slightly duplicated due to misalignment during the minting process. These coins, depending on clarity and condition, can fetch anywhere between $100 and $500 in auctions. Another intriguing error involves die chips on the planes, wings or the figures of the Wright brothers, giving the coin a unique raised metal appearance. Such imperfections, while unintentional, make these coins more desirable to collectors who value rarity over perfection. The coin's connection to the Wright brothers has also inspired some myths about hidden symbolism in the design. A few collectors claim the coin subtly depicts both North Carolina and Ohio's rivalry over the first flight legacy. Ohio, after all, was the Wright brothers' home state, and its own state quarter issued in 2002 features the same achievement. The placement of the flyers, angle and the landscape on the North Carolina quarter has even been said to represent the horizon over the dunes of Kitty Hawk pointing westward, symbolically connecting to Ohio, though unconfirmed by the mint. Such interpretations reflect how deeply this coin resonates with American identity and pride. Historically, North Carolina's choice of design was more than just a celebration of invention. It was a statement of state pride. The Wright brothers' achievement took place on North Carolina soil, with locals assisting in the launch and recovery of the early aircraft. When the coin was unveiled in March 2001, it became a symbol of state heritage and innovation. The release ceremony in Kitty Hawk drew thousands, and local schools used the occasion to teach students about flight, science, and perseverance. It was a moment of nostalgia and inspiration, one that turned everyday change into history lessons. The design also reflects a blend of technical artistry and national storytelling. Sculptor-engraver John McCanty, who would later become the 12th chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, managed to capture both motion and symbolism in a space barely an inch wide. The coin's reverse shows not only the flyer but also the brothers standing beside it, Orville piloting while Wilbur steadies the machine. Their posture embodies balance and cooperation, qualities that mirror the very spirit of invention. The background is sparse, emphasizing the open skies and limitless potential of human ingenuity. Now let's talk about what collectors and enthusiasts truly want to know. How much is the 2001 North Carolina Liberty quarter dollar worth today? For circulated coins, the value is typically 25 cents. Uncirculated examples, however, can range from $1 to $5 depending on luster, strike quality, and grading. Mint state coins graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC can sell for $10 to $20, especially those with strong details and no contact marks. Proof coins from San Francisco, with mirror-like surfaces, are also collectible. Silver-proof versions, struck in 90% silver, are worth significantly more, usually between $10 and $15 based on silver content and condition. Yet, when you move into the realm of rare era coins and high-grade certified specimens, the numbers become far more exciting. In 2021, a 2001 P. North Carolina quarter graded MS68 by Professional Coin Grading service sold for over $500 at auction, a remarkable price for a modern quarter. Similarly, a Denver minted version with pristine surfaces fetched $400 in 2022. Meanwhile, coins featuring dramatic minting errors, like broad strikes, clipped planchets, and double strikes, can command prices from $100 to $1,000, depending on rarity and visual impact. Collectors are also drawn to the North Carolina quarter's role in the broader narrative of the 50-state quarters program. It represents the second coin issued in 2001, following New York, and precedes Rhode Island, Vermont, and Kentucky. Its place within the timeline makes it particularly significant because 2001 marked the midpoint of the program. The first few years had already captured the public's imagination, and by the time the North Carolina quarter appeared, millions of Americans were actively collecting state quarters from change, rolls, and mint sets. Interestingly, the North Carolina quarter also holds sentimental value for aviation enthusiasts. Pilots, engineers, and aviation museums often use it as a token of appreciation or historical remembrance. Some flight schools even present the coin to graduating pilots as a symbol of the journey from the Wright flyer to modern aircraft. This cultural resonance adds emotional worth beyond the monetary aspect, turning a simple coin into a cherished emblem of human achievement. As we examine this coin under the lens of modern numismatics, we find that its beauty lies not in its rarity but in its story. The North Carolina Liberty Quarter encapsulates over a century of innovation, perseverance, and the spirit of discovery. It reminds us of a time when two brothers dared to defy gravity and dream of the impossible. The coin's enduring popularity proves that history can live on in the palm of your hand, passed quietly from one generation to the next through everyday transactions or proudly displayed in collectors' albums. Some myths persist that there exist secret or unlisted varieties of the North Carolina quarter, such as mirror finish, circulation strikes, or missing state outline types. These rumors are largely unfounded. However, transitional or improperly annealed planchets, where the metal mixture wasn't perfectly balanced, can occasionally produce coins with unusual tones or colors. Such specimens, often called tone quarters, can command modest premiums among collectors who appreciate visual uniqueness. To understand the deeper meaning of the North Carolina 1789 inscription, we must remember that it marks the state's official entry into the United States. Ratified on November 21, 1789, North Carolina joined the fledgling Union shortly after the U.S. Constitution was adopted. This date reminds collectors that the state's influence on American history predates even the Wright Brothers' flight by more than a century. In that sense, the quarter is not only about invention, it's about continuity, unity, and the enduring evolution of the nation itself. From a historical standpoint, the coin bridges two pivotal eras, the birth of a state and the birth of flight. It serves as a visual timeline that compresses 1789 and 1903 into one frame, a feat of symbolism that few coins achieve so elegantly. Every element, from the simple landscape to the graceful motion of the flyer, evokes progress. It celebrates both freedom of governance and freedom of movement. As of today, collectors continue to hunt for the finest examples of this coin. Auctions often list high-grade North Carolina quarters as part of complete 50-state quarter sets, and such collections can sell for thousands depending on condition. While individually the coin may not be rare, its place within the full series adds to its value. For example, a full set of state quarters in silver-proof format can fetch over $500, and North Carolina issue remains one of the highlights due to its iconic theme, the legacy of the 2001 Liberty Quarter. Dollar from North Carolina extends beyond the world of coin collecting. It's a reminder of how art, history, and national identity intersect in the smallest of forms. Whether found in a drawer, a coin roll, or a museum case, it speaks of the human desire to reach for the skies. The Wright Brothers' flight was not merely an invention, it was a symbol of hope and courage. And every time someone holds this quarter, that story quietly continues. In conclusion, the 2001 North Carolina Liberty Quarter dollar stands as both a commemoration and an inspiration. Its first flight design captures one of humankind's greatest leaps forward, while the date 1789 anchors it in the enduring foundation of American statehood. Myths about its extreme value have fueled curiosity, but its true worth lies in its artistry and symbolism, from 25 cents to hundreds of dollars, depending on condition and rarity. This coin carries with it the weight of history and the wings of progress. The next time you come across this coin in your pocket change, pause for a moment, because in your hand lies not just currency, but a piece of the American dream that first took flight over the sands of North Carolina more than a century ago.